first main topic today. And our first main topic today is this. So, Trevor, you weren't here yesterday, but Lucas was here in the studio, and we were talking about this new trailer for the Velma series that's made by Mindy Kaling, voiced by Mindy Kaling. There was a trailer for it that came out yesterday, which we did a little review on. It turns out that the trailer dropped on the morning of the eve that this thing was going to release.
Oh my!
So it came out, and this is what we have happening right now, and this is coming to us from Screen Rant. And the headline of this article says Scooby-Doo spinoff Velma show review bombed on IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes. Let's read a little bit of this. The Scooby-Doo spinoff Velma faces a massive review bombing campaign on Rotten Tomatoes and IMDb. Set before the Scooby-Doo gang started traveling the world to solve supernatural mysteries, Velma is an animated series that sees the team navigating high school while trying to figure out precisely what mysterious elements are causing murders. The show stars Mindy Kaling as Velma, Sam Richardson as Norval, Shaggy, Constance Wu as Daphne, and Glenn Howerton as Fred, of course. But it doesn't feature the famous talking dog, which we observed yesterday when we see the trailer, like, weird. Instead, the show relies on adult humor that earned it an R rating. Unfortunately for the show, it has been the subject of review bombs on Rotten Tomatoes and IMDb. As of the time of this writing, Velma has an 18% audience score as opposed to a 60% critic rating on Rotten Tomato, which I just want to say isn't very great in itself. On IMDb, the story is the same, with 72% of the audience judging Velma 1 out of 10. While many already believe that Velma's R rating is a bad idea, that doesn't account for the absolute slam of incredibly negative reviews that come within only hours of the show's release, as only 2 episodes have been aired so far. Wow. Good for you, Internet. You do it again. So we did also talk about the controversy. The only reason I really knew about this series at all, actually, Trevor, was because about 6 months, a year ago, she made it evident that Velma would be, lesbian or some part of the LGBTQ community. And there was this uproar. Of course, there's always those knuckle draggers out there that have nothing better to do than sit in their mom's basement and type on a damn keyboard. I'll tell you what.
I can't bang Velma.
Dear Disney, Stan Lee is turning in his grave. Anyways, yeah, and so this may have a lot to do with that, guys. You remember Captain Marvel got review bombed, and that's what actually changed the Rotten Tomato way of doing this for films. So in order to review a film now as an audience on Rotten Tomato, you have to prove that you've seen the film. This obviously is a lot harder to do with a TV show, and they have no way to get that proof. They can't scan your ticket in. I suppose you could log into your HBO Max, but even then you wouldn't have to prove that you had even watched it. You just prove that you have HBO Max and the capability of watching it. So yes, this could just be a bunch of nonsense from a bunch of idiots as usual. Again, typical internet. But Trevor, you're hearing this. What are your thoughts on this? Why do you think we're hearing this? And if you're just hearing about the Velma series, is it something you're gonna check out? Glenn Howerton looks great in it. I will tell you that, Trevor.
Glenn Howerton always looks great.
Yes.
That's great.
As Fred.
That's right.
Which is like Dennis.
Yeah.
Right.
Dennis, young Dennis, before it really kicks in.
Right, right.
Man, there's a lot. I'm swirled with a lot of thoughts about this. Okay, I'm going to take them point by point.
Cool.
First and foremost, Velma was my first love. Velma, I a lot of people like Daphne. She's great. She's cute and all that.
Oh my God! Don't tell me you're one of the ones that went on there and review bombed it because you could no longer have her.
But it wasn't. Well, yeah, but it wasn't. I did it anonymously, obviously. Come on. Okay. No. But I've always kind of felt there's a little bit of a little lesbian in there.
Yeah, for sure.
And so that one, it shouldn't be a problem, period.
No.
At all, like, and I know
It's not
that
surprising.
is a part of this. I know
Yes.
this is a decent part of it.
Definitely.
But I also know that a lot of times it gets a decent boost when it does do that from the kind of, because there's the crazy right people who will be like, she's gay. And then there's the other side that's like, she's gay. But I don't care how bad it is.
But in this case, we're talking about a really old IP. Like a really old IP that associates with some people that are attached to it from some old ways of thinking.
That's true. That's true.
And so they clearly, right? I mean,
Yeah.
something. If it's not that, then what is it, man?
I mean, it may just be terrible. It may be. And I'll tell you, look, I haven't seen it, so I'm not, this is only conjecturing. And I will watch it because, again,
I like
I
this.
love Velma. I love Scooby-Doo. But I will say, and I think we're going to get down to the meat and potatoes of why probably it wouldn't work. And I think that the reason it's getting blistered is because of the LGBTQ thing. But this happens. They tried to do it back in the 90s. They tried to just do Shaggy and Scooby without the gang. And they've tried to do variations on this where they just have one or two. And the problem is that every single one of these characters is great, but they're only really great together.
Well, and then the other thing I would argue about that is the only one you can really do on its own is Scooby-Doo.
Right.
Like, he could meet a new group of people, and
Right.
we would still be all in. But this has done the opposite of that.
Right. Everyone else in that show is like, except for a little bit Shaggy, is
I mean,
a
it's
straight
called
man for
Scooby-Doo, guys.
Right. And as cool as Velma
Not
is.
Velma Doo.
That's right. She was never designed to be a lead. So
No.
it's like, I think that is probably like the core of what it is, because I've noticed on a lot of these. I mean, a lot of these type of very liberal type of things that they as long as it's remotely good. That woke, I'll call them the woke audience. I don't mean that as a super harsh negative thing, but that's kind of what they are. They will go out as hard as they can, and they will do everything they can to defend it. And I'm looking at even just the Google audience reviews, and it's I mean, this many of the other ones and this many of the of 1 star, and it's dang, man. I mean, there's gotta. I know that is playing into it. The LGBTQ thing is because some people are just freaking stupid.
Right.
But there's something else going on here.
For sure. And all that being said, I am going to preface all of this with, I am going to go check this series out later tonight for sure.
Right.
Okay, I got to know. Is it just that bad? Would I get on Rotten Tomatoes immediately after and be like, half a star?
Right.
I mean, but we'll see. We'll definitely be talking about that on the show, hopefully on Friday. But guys, have you had a chance to see these review bombings for Velma? What do you guys think of this? Have you had a chance to check out the first 2 episodes of Velma? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Definitely let me know your thoughts down in the comments section below.